Sports on Tap is brought to you by Go To Pro Plumbing, Land & Sea Motorsports, On the Bay Customs Boutique and Cafe.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
I don't know what we're yelling about!
I mean, listen, we're talking about practice. Not a game. We're talking about practice.
Loud noises!
Not a game.
This is the first time in my life I'm glad I'm here.
We're talking about practice, man.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
65.
63. Knew it, I'm surrounded by assholes.
Kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, with loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping. With news that's jaw dropping, they're getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke, from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening and you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and ride with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go and all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Welcome to this week's edition of Sports on Tap. I'm Chris Scott, alongside Frank Dragata and Joe Waddell. Gentlemen, how are we?
Good.
You doing all right?
What is it, episode 22 or something like that?
22, yeah.
All right. I can't believe we're at 22 fucking episodes already.
22.
All right.
22. It's flown by, man.
It really has, honestly. I didn't think we were quite at 22, but yeah, whatever.
We're right there.
Let's keep it moving.
And finally, on the 22nd episode, you didn't laugh at when it says we're going live. Fuck it.
No, I was contemplating that we were on our 22nd. I was like, 22? It sounds about right. Yeah.
I mean, we were stuck on 3 for like 2 months.
Yeah, well,
that is true.
Well, you know,
our
producer wasn't really on top of it at that point,
and not including the first one, which I don't think any of us want to remember the first one.
No, we don't.
The first one might be the only thing that's worse than my ad read last week.
I think that's kind of a toss-up, right? To be honest with you. I think it's pretty even there. But.
No, the first one was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
As bad as that ad read was last week. The first one was bad.
There's no like mention of that anywhere that people can actually somehow find it, right?
We have taken it off of any possibility of anybody streaming it because it was so bad. Our audio was so messed up. Yeah. It was the first attempt at using this equipment, and
it did not go well.
It did not.
It sounded like we were on cup phones.
Yeah, it did.
It did.
It was really bad.
Cups and strings. That was it.
It was quite bad.
It's quite a difference to episode 22 from 1.
I would say so. It was about as bad as the Eagles' new head coach's press conference. We'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We got some audio for you on that one, which is pretty hysterical. But
and for everybody that's watching live, we have the video as well.
Oh yeah,
which wow,
it's quite something. But like I said, we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah, believe me, if you thought Dan Campbell's press conference was bad, just stay tuned.
Yeah, it's quite something. Anyways, since our last episode, there's been more news from the Honolulu Blue and Silver football team in this city of ours. Matthew Stafford is no longer a Detroit Lion, which I believe one of us at this table said was going to happen.
I believe all three of us did at one point.
I was going to say we all agreed on it, but you called it before the season even started.
Yeah.
I get him right every once in a while.
Hey, every once in a while.
I'll take it.
Yeah. You do your thing, man.
But yes, he is now a member of the Los Angeles Rams, and in return, I like what the Lions got back in return. I do. They got a 3rd-round pick this year. They got a 1st-round pick next year, and a 1st-round pick the following year. And as you know, my feelings on Jared Goff, they got Jared Goff.
They got your arch nemesis.
I don't know who I dislike more, Jared Goff or Carson Wentz. It's honestly a toss-up.
So now one of the most hated players for you is on the most hated team for you.
Yeah.
This is a marriage made in heaven.
It really
man.
is.
I can't wait for next football season. This is
I'm
gonna be
hoping
fantastic.
this combination can bring him back.
That ain't
There's no
happening.
bringing me back.
This combination is going to push him farther, bro.
I want this combination to be the combination that brings him back.
There's no bringing me back. Nope, not gonna happen.
It's going to push him farther away.
I want Jared Goff to be the man to do this.
Like I said, I like what they did. I like the trade for the Lions. They actually did something right here. Would it have been better if they could have got a second round pick this year? Obviously, but getting a third this year and then 2 first round picks in the following years, I think they did well. I can't kill the trade. And then if by some miracle Jared Goff turns out to be a legitimate NFL quarterback, that's a bonus. So
Yeah, I think the reason they were able to get 2 first and a third is because they were willing to take on the Goff contract.
Right.
It was basically, you take this contract from us.
Yep.
We'll take Matt Stafford from you, and we'll give you an extra pick in here because basically his going rate was about a 1 and a third.
Yeah.
1 and a 3. Excuse me. And that extra 1 comes from them taking on the contract.
Mm-hmm.
But the beautiful thing about it is, either he pans out and plays as a good caliber quarterback, or in 2 years you can cut him with 0 problems with the salary cap.
Right.
You can cut him in 2 years with nothing, 0.
I think he hits for 28 this year, I want to say it was.
Yeah, and 15 next year.
And 15 next year if you decide to keep him. You can cut him at 15 next year.
Yeah. And even then it's not bad because you're rebuilding.
It doesn't. Yeah,
for the Lions, you're
it doesn't
rebuilding.
matter.
Your salary cap doesn't matter right now. You're not going out and signing free agents. You're not signing big contracts.
No.
You're drafting players and rebuilding. So your salary cap doesn't matter right now. You're not going to be close to hitting that.
So it's basically what you've been used to for the past damn near 70 years.
Yeah. So basically, even if you cut him next year and you get the $15 million hit,
Yep.
it doesn't matter.
Nope.
And
Your
you wanna
salary
know the
cap doesn't
crazy
matter.
thing? If you look at the numbers, he's not much worse than Stafford was. Their numbers are very, very similar. There's 3 picks between the two of them that Goff has more of.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say yardage-wise, it was like 600 yards difference.
Speaking of picks, earlier it was last week. Yeah, it was last week. Me and a buddy were out having a couple beers, and we decided to look up this random stat about Matt Stafford. I don't know why we did, but we did. Who has the most pick sixes in NFL history? Do you know?
Well, since we're talking
It
about
was- one is
Stafford,
Matt-
I'm going to guess it's
yes.
Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford and
It is Matt
Vinny Testaverde are tied for the NFL lead.
Ooh,
yes.
Vinny Testaverde.
Because he asked me, he goes, how many interceptions has Matt Stafford thrown that have been pick sixes? I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, man, he's thrown a lot.
Yes.
And then we looked it up, and yeah, he literally is tied for the NFL all-time lead in pick sixes. I'm like, that doesn't surprise me.
With how bad our defense is, I'm surprised their offense is just as bad.
Right.
So, yeah.
Just a little sidebar. Since we were talking about interceptions, I thought, all right, yeah. That's his ad read for his mic.
We all got real quiet watching the mic
No,
go down.
I was just having trouble regulating you in. You were a little low, and I couldn't. No matter how far I turned it up, I couldn't get in. So I wanted to make sure that, yeah, you should say that's what she said. Anyway,
Yeah.
I just wanted to push the mic a little closer to your mouth. That's all.
I appreciate it. I know I'm difficult when it comes
I was
to this crap.
trying to subtly do it, and then everyone just stopped and looked at me. So it was not subtle at all.
Nothing's done subtly on this show.
No, it really isn't. Now, looking at this trade from the Rams' point of view,
How the hell do you give up so much?
I think it's a win-win because, in my opinion, I don't want to interrupt you here. My opinion is they're going for it now.
no, that's what I was going to say. But you have literally a 2-year window.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you got because you are going to be in salary cap hell here shortly.
Oh yeah, they're pretty much almost there
Yeah, I know.
anyway. They've got a 2 to 3 year window
Yep.
that they're trying to hit.
Yep.
That's it. And honestly, if they don't hit it, McVay's gone.
Oh, 100%.
Because he's killed that franchise with the salary cap and
Yes,
everything,
he
all
has.
the trades
and the lack
they've
of
made.
draft picks you have.
Yes. Yeah.
I was
So
going to say, what is that, 5 first that they've traded so far since he's come on board?
shit, I don't think they've had a first round pick for the last like
7
4 years, 5
7.
years. Is it really that
I think
long?
7, yeah.
Okay.
Do they have
And
one
they gave
this
up,
year?
They don't have one this year.
Okay.
Which is why they couldn't
Which is why-
give the Lions
yeah.
one. And they gave up their first one.
I think
next 2 years.
the next 2 years will be 7 that they won't have a first round.
Okay.
Jeez, Pete.
But I like what the Rams did. Go for it. You got a shot to win. You got a legitimate defense. I think Stafford in that offense, he can do some things. I think he'll be better than Jared Goff in that offense. Which it's not hard to be better than Jared Goff in any offense.
I think
but-
in that offense, you're really going to get a taste of who Stafford is.
right.
Like all the arguments we've had now for years, this is going to be a year all of them get figured out.
But yeah,
because he's got a real offensive line in front of him. He's
does.
got receivers. He's got an entire team around him.
And you have a legitimate defense. Mm-hmm. So that was the time that everybody says, stat Patford, which is true to a degree.
Yeah.
It 100% is.
It is.
But now you're going to find out, is he like a legitimately good NFL quarterback? And I'm actually curious to see it. Now, for all the Lion honks out there, they're like, oh, go Rams, because Matt Stafford. Shut up. Stop it. God, I fucking hate it. It's like when Verlander went to Houston. Stop it. That shit irritates the hell out of me.
So there's 2 Lions fans right now that are out there. So there's those.
God.
There's the ones that are just like swinging for Matt Stafford's nutsack,
Right.
and didn't want to see him go. And
I
now
want
that
to see him win a Super Bowl.
and now that he's gone, they didn't want to see him go. But now that he's gone, they're going to root for him and the Rams,
Right.
and just Matt Stafford.
Slurp it up, baby.
Yep. And then there's the other ones that are like, oh fuck, I'm glad he's gone.
Yep.
He fucking sucked.
Yep.
He was
Best quarterback you've ever had, but he fucking sucked.
right.
Yeah.
It's listen. There's a middle ground there, folks. It's like drastic overreactions, which we always talk about. It's like there's a middle ground here. It's not just this way or that way. It's you got to meet in the middle somewhere. It's not just Matt Stafford was the greatest thing to ever live, and I'm going to follow him till he dies. And it's also not, Matt Stafford was the worst quarterback in the world, and he was the only problem on the Lions. It's in the middle there.
Yes, 100%. I just, like I said, it's just fans like that just irritate me. Yeah, there's guys that from teams that I've liked have gone on other places. But, okay, I'll root for that guy, and that's cool. But I'm not rooting for that team to win anything.
Right.
Like fuck your team. I don't care.
I mean, we've talked about this for the last year and a half now since Jalen's gone over there. That's still the worst jersey in football.
Oh,
I
the Rams?
will never support a team that wears that ugly ass.
Oh, the Rams jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are hideous.
They're not good.
No, they're bad. They look like pajamas.
I have no problem bringing teams on to the already plethora of teams I have.
And you do have a plethora of teams. Yes, you do.
But at the same time,
It's a plethora.
when your jersey is that bad,
No, I don't want it.
you don't get to break through this.
You could get a throwback one.
Those old Rams jerseys were
Awesome.
pretty sweet.
With the gold instead of the fucking piss yellow? Yeah.
Yes, those things are sweet for sure. I don't know why they got rid of them, to be honest.
Because they moved from St. Louis and they needed to change.
Well, and back to the trade though. Sorry, there's Lions fans out there that don't like this trade too, though.
Of course,
I don't understand that.
You got 2 first-round picks for a quarterback that probably wasn't worth a first, like one first.
They're mad.
in my opinion.
They're mad because they didn't get a first this year, and they're mad because it wasn't an early first. It's going to be 2 late first-round picks.
So that's
What?
So
Okay.
for the next 2 years, you're going to have an early first round pick and a late first
And a
round
late
pick.
one.
And you're bitching about that? Mm-hmm. Really?
They are.
You are
It's
a special.
insane.
You are a special kind of stupid.
Well, they are. I just don't. Those are some of the fans I don't understand. Lions fans are literally upset right now because they didn't feel they got enough.
Not all Lions fans. Some Lions fans.
Some.
Well,
some.
and here's the question that I would ask them then. Would you rather have had an early second? Because you can get the same fucking player at the end of the first round.
Here's
that
what I
you
ask
can get
you.
at the beginning of the second round.
Were you going to get a better fucking trade from anybody else? No.
From what I saw, Carolina, which like we had discussed before, Stafford shut down the trade to Carolina.
Yeah.
It sounded
So
like the
that's
offer
a
was
moot
out
point.
there.
It's a moot point.
And I think they were offering their first round this year,
which is the 8th.
which is 8th.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then they were offering,
A third, I believe.
yeah, I want to say it was their 3rd or a 4th round pick.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only first round pick offer
Right.
that I've heard so far
There was-
outside of the LA trade.
There was a couple others with 1 first round pick,
Okay.
but it was the first round pick this year. You weren't getting 2. And for some reason, the certain amount of Lions fans that don't like this trade are saying, well, basically we're getting second round picks because they're late first rounders. No. They're still first round picks. That's the way it works. They're still first round. They're just late first round, and you got 2 of them. So one kind of middle of the road or early first round pick compared to 2 first round picks and a third, and you got a starting quarterback to hold you over for 2 years. Or better yet, maybe he pans out and he's your guy. Either way, you fucking win.
And the little tidbit that I dropped on you guys earlier with what I want them to do now in this draft, like if that's the way Lions fans are looking at it, y'all are about to be real pissed with the suggestion that I give out. Trade this one, go back with New England, take whatever New England's pick is. It's like 8 spots different between Detroit and New England.
Yeah.
Take their first pick from next year and go into next year's draft with 3 first-round picks. I don't give a fuck if they're 2 of them that are after 20.
Fair enough.
You have 3 first-round picks. This organization's bound to get 1 right.
Well, you know what?
I don't know, man.
They have fucked up 2. I've never seen them fuck up all 3.
It's the Lions. If anybody can do it, they can.
Well, they listen. You haven't seen the front office they've signed. You haven't seen the hirings they've had. They're on the way, man. I'm telling you, they've built an all-star crew of just behind the scenes and drafting and GM and coach and assistant coaches and I'm sorry, I'm going on too far. But that's all I'm hearing.
I've heard the parade route is already planned.
Yeah.
So this is the question I have, and it's been talked about in a couple different places over the past couple of days.
Yeah.
This GM that everybody's hyping up may now be responsible for his team, Jared Goff. Nobody's pinning the first trade that got the Rams Goff on him, but he was definitely a part of that brain trust.
Yeah, he was.
They're saying he was very adamant and very loud about the fact that he wanted Goff.
So on one hand, you're pumping the tires on this whole regime that's now taking over, but then you're bitching about the job the guy that just took over is doing, and you're bitching about what he's gotten, and all he's doing is recreating the same fucking thing he just left. Like, now we're just recreating the Rams instead of the Patriots.
All right.
If that's what his game plan is moving forward, he's been here for a week and he's already gone after the quarterback that he went after over there. At some point, when you
just do your own fucking thing and stop like trying to copy somebody else.
Well, I personally think he kind of fleeced L.A.
I would agree with that.
Even though L.A. is, listen, it's a win-win. I said that before. They're going for it. They have to go for it. The team they have built, they have to go for it.
Right.
They've got 2 to 3 years.
Goff was obviously not the guy to fucking do it.
No, and him and McVay soured, and basically it's being reported that Goff lost his confidence because McVay basically just berated him for every mistake he made, and his confidence is shot.
I heard a rumor. I don't know how true it is, but he was at a group text message that he said they would bang McVay's now fiance or wife or whatever the fuck she is, and he saw it, and McVay saw it. He's like, I'd pipe her or something like that. I'm like,
wow.
I mean, I would too, but I wouldn't say that anywhere that there's a paper trail to
get
back to my boss.
Exactly.
Yeah, if it's your boss especially. That's, come on.
So I was like, if that's true, which again I don't know if it is or not, but if that's true, I can see why McVay might be a little bit agitated with his quarterback. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's a win-win if you look at both sides of it. But in general, if we're looking at it from this side, I really truly believe that Holmes fleeced L.A.
Yep.
He got the most out of L.A. because he knew what to go after with them. He knew how to talk to them.
Yep.
You weren't going to get that deal from anybody else.
Nobody else.
No matter whose contract you took on, you weren't getting that.
Legitimately the best deal you could have possibly gotten for Matt Stafford.
By far.
And it gives you that, as they keep calling it, the bridge quarterback to go between whatever you go with moving forward in the event that Goff isn't going to work out, which I don't know of many people who think he's going to.
Well, apparently I've heard the coaching staff and Holmes think he's going to work out.
Okay.
I've heard their intention is that Goff is the guy.
I mean, ideally that's great to hope for, but
yeah, and of course I say this to people when they brought this up is what else are they supposed to say?
Right. You got to pump up your guy.
They just traded for the guy. Right. They're not going to go, well, he's going to be here for 2 years.
Quarterback that has no confidence. Like,
right.
Yeah, the worst possible thing you could do is be like, well, he's not here for the long term. He's just only here to do until we got somebody who can do better.
Right. Yeah. What are they supposed to say? No. Don't worry, guys. He's only here for 2 years, and then we're going to ship him out somewhere, or we're going to cut him. It's no big deal. They're not going to do that, man.
No,
I mean, they're going to come out and say he's their guy. They have confidence in him, and he can get the job done. And whether they actually believe that or not, we'll see.
Exactly.
Time will tell.
You got to give him a shot at least, because I mean, obviously, you just traded for the guy, so at least give him a legitimate shot.
And nobody's going to start over him. He's your starting quarterback for for this next year at least.
And to be honest, he's only 26 years old.
Right.
Like, in the event this guy does pan out,
it's
you
a
have
bonus.
a quarterback for the next 15 years.
Right, that's a bonus.
He's 26 years old. He's been to a Super Bowl, and he's won more playoff games than Matt Stafford has, who you just traded for the guy.
I think he's won more playoff games than Matt Stafford's seen.
Well, yeah, maybe, yeah. I think he's won 3 playoff games. So in that case,
Stafford's only
seen 2.
There you go. There you go.
So I mean, and in no way am I saying he's a better quarterback than Stafford.
No, absolutely
don't.
not.
I don't need to get any social media shit or any text messages that I'm saying Goff is better than Stafford. That's not the case, okay? Good guy. I don't want to make sure I throw that out there because what I just said, I could hear people coming at me and go, "Oh, you're saying Stafford's not as good as Goff?" Shut up. Just shut up, please.
There's also the potential that he is.
Well, that was kind of my point. But
it's amazing how
I will be the guy to say it. There's a chance that he is better than Stafford was.
There is a chance.
there is absolutely a
There
chance.
is a chance.
100%. There absolutely is a chance, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So, like I said, overall, I think the Lions did good here. I really do, and it's surprising to say, but they actually fleeced somebody.
I hate giving them credit.
I do too.
I know you do.
I can't stand it.
I hate saying good things about this franchise.
Yeah.
But they did well.
Yeah.
I cannot hate on this. They've done well.
Chris is praising a situation where the Lions traded for Jared Goff.
I know, right?
And he's saying he likes it.
Yep.
This is why I said he could be the man to bring Chris back over.
Not a chance in hell that will happen.
You keep saying that.
Not a chance.
But I'm not buying it.
You can not buy it all you want.
I'm going to say 2 years' time. I'm not going to say you're going to be fully back, but
Never.
you're going to start playing with that idea of coming back
Not
over.
even a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, recently, in several times, I've been told by a Lions slapdick that, well, don't try to come back when they start winning.
Okay.
No, you ain't coming back. I know that.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
That's why this is one-on-one here. You're way out of that conversation.
No, I know, but I'm just saying a mutual friend of ours has said this to me several times in
use
arguments.
the word friend very loosely here.
A mutual yeah, you're right. A mutual acquaintance of ours.
I like the guy, but he's strictly for entertainment purposes only.
Now, Frank, you didn't know me when I
fantastic.
stopped liking the Red Wings.
No, I did not.
And Joe, I believe we didn't know each other until a couple years after I stopped liking Red Wings.
Yeah, because when we first started hanging out and got to know each other,
Yeah.
you'd already gone past there.
This is with the Lions. Did I ever come back to the Red Wings?
No.
I was going to say,
There you
if
go.
you did, I'd like to know what that
The
time
Lions,
was.
that is the Red Wings. I ain't coming back.
Yeah,
I'm done.
See, and it's funny. What turned you on the Red Wings was basically the fan base. It wasn't even the team, really.
The Hockey Town thing just
it
totally,
was the
just
fan
totally
base.
alienated me.
It was the fan base.
Yeah.
The
You know
Hockey
what?
Town thing was the greatest thing for about 5 years, and then it stopped being true. And at that point, it needed to be
I don't know if
dropped.
it was ever true.
It was just a gimmick.
That's what bothered me about it.
Yeah.
But the gimmick itself, like, and I will speak to this being a kid who
Yeah.
was in that
I know, yeah.
age range at that point.
Yeah.
Like, Hockey Town was a real thing. There was ice arenas going up around every corner. There were kids all over. I played, what was that, Pee-wee, I want to say? Pee-wee or Squirt, which would be right around 10, 11, 12, somewhere in that time frame.
Yep.
We went down to an arena called Jack Adams, which is in the city of Detroit.
I played there. Yeah.
Yeah, and we played against a Detroit inner city team.
Yeah.
Inner cities don't have hockey teams in other cities. So at that point, like, I looked at it and I went, no, like, this is a legit thing. This has become Hockey Town. But where I think you were absolutely right for your problem with it, about 5 years later, it ended. 20 years later, we were still saying it was going on, but very shortly after it started, it ended. And that's where I do agree with you.
And I
the
just
Hockey Town
and
thing.
it just after that, it totally just turned me off. I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm done with this franchise.
Yeah.
Well, and it's I think a lot of times when people have a problem with a team or even turn against a team, but either way, if you just despise a team, it's a lot of it has to do with the fan base. Like part of the Cowboys thing with me
Good Lord.
is the fan base.
Yeah.
And Steve, I know you listen, bro, love you, but your fandom for the Dallas Cowboys is something that is just off the charts, and you and every other Dallas Cowboys fan. Okay, I that's one thing I don't like about you.
Literally U of M for me.
Right. That's Michigan State for me.
Yep.
I can't stand the fan base. It's
Like, if you
and
wanna
Frank,
be
I love you,
honest,
but
I watch more Michigan games than I do anything else. I just can't stand them because of the fucking people who tell you how great they are every other day.
Right.
And like you were saying, like, Michigan State is becoming the exact same thing.
that's the fan base will turn a person against a team so easy. And I know that's what it was for Wings for you, because the fan base was part of why you stopped
They
being
just
a Wings
became
fan.
incredibly arrogant, and they thought that that was the only team in the NHL. And it's just like, dude, are you fucking serious with this shit right now? Like, throughout the 80s, you didn't go to the games at all. Throughout the 70s, you didn't go to games at all.
They
and
were
then
literally called the Dead Wings.
Right, and then like the late 80s, early 90s, you started to get good. And all of a sudden, oh, yeah, I've been a Wings fan my entire. Shut the fuck up. No, you weren't. Knock it off. And it was bullshit. It was complete bullshit.
Yeah.
I agree. A majority of hardcore hockey fans right now could not tell you who the goalie was before Osgood and Vernon took over.
No.
Shovelday.
We know that.
Bob Essensa.
Bob Essensa. But those are names we know.
Yes.
These hardcore hockey fans
have no
anymore,
idea.
they have no idea who was playing for the
no
Wings
idea.
in the early 90s.
Yeah. No, it's sad, but that's what turned me off to the Detroit Red Wings. However, retire fucking 91, you idiots. It's about time.
God, yeah, it is.
Like you don't win those 3 Stanley Cups, let alone 1 without that dude.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And not to mention he's a Hall of Famer, and at one point he was the best player in the world.
And not to mention that when they won the 4th, like a Russian was probably the most important person on that team, and his biggest influence growing up was Sergei Fedorov.
Right.
So, like, we could say he was responsible for 3, but his influence was responsible for all 4.
To hold the grudge this long, come on, like what are we doing
Especially
here?
over a
Like,
salary
come on, man.
situation.
What are we doing here?
They signed a fucking offer sheet.
Yeah, over a business decision.
Right.
It's a business. It's a business. There's no loyalty in business.
No, especially in sports, especially.
And you got what you wanted. He's been very vocal about the fact that he regrets ever leaving this team.
Right.
Like you now have your little news blurb that he regrets leaving. You were right. He was wrong. Put the fucking number in the rafters.
That was Kornikova making him leave.
Oh,
100%.
yeah.
That was Kornikova making him leave.
15-year-old girlfriends make you do weird things.
Right. But I mean, I've been saying it for years now. It's put 91 up, and people say, "Well, no, they should put."
Am I wrong?
They
were supposably dating in '97.
I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to answer that question because I mean, you're talking about 15-year-old guy. I'm going to stay away from that one.
Yeah, moving on.
But you know, people say, they should retire at 40 and 13. No, they shouldn't. Absolutely not. Before 91, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
If 40 ever goes up in the rafters, that'll be the day I stop being a Red Wing fan.
Wow. Oh, all right. Nice. I could see that 100%.
It's a situation with him where, and I was very vocal. I think all 3 of us talked about this. The way he left this team.
Oh, yeah.
Was the most incredibly selfish way you could leave an
Swedish
organization.
Mafia, baby.
You knew exactly what was going on the entire time, and you as a captain of this team let them go into training camp before you ever told them what you were doing.
Right.
That's not a leader.
No. I'm sorry, 13 doesn't belong up in the rafters either.
He's probably one of the most incredible players I ever watched, but when it comes down to it, so was Pavel Bure, so was a lot of other guys.
Yeah. Right.
Like, he's a nice piece. He was great to watch. He's probably got better hands than any guy I can name off, but great hands doesn't put you up in the rafters.
He's probably one of my favorite hockey players of all time, but it doesn't mean he belongs in the rafters.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't mean his number needs to be retired.
No. Sorry to get off that little tangent, but it's just something bothered me about it.
No,
I
yeah.
just wanted to...
It was nice to talk hockey.
It was. It was.
We'll be talking more hockey.
We're going to have to. I mean, I don't know if we're going to talk Red Wing hockey because honestly, what's the point? The team is garbage.
No, but we'll be talking hockey.
Yes.
And you're right. We're going to have to because if we don't, our show's going to be 20 minutes long.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah.
That is factual.
That is factual. You know what else is factual?
What's that?
Calling my guy Jason Stilner at Flexstar Bank. Oh, yeah. And it's if you call him now, it's a great time to purchase a home or even refinance your existing home. So like I said, give my guy Jason Stilner a call at Flexstar Bank. He'll give you the top-notch service that you're looking for. Flexstar is currently offering a 0% down home purchase program. However, the program won't last long, but the rates are incredibly low. So give my guy Jason Stilner a call today at 248-675-0675. Trust me, you don't want to miss this great opportunity. That number again is 248-675-0675. Flaggstar Bank is an equal housing lender, member FDIC, and MLS number 27546.
You can do mine later now.
Okay.
Just because you do such a wonderful job with those reads.
Oh, so I
went to school for it, so I should.
So we have a comment here. What about 30? And I'm guessing he's asking, what about 30 going in the rafters?
No.
Frank, I want to hear your thoughts on this one because
Because if there's one person in the hockey world that I fucking hate,
You do hate.
it's Chris Osgood.
Yes. That's why I want to hear.
That'd be the only other one I'd consider other than Fedorov. Would be him.
And I would say yes to that. I would say yes to that because I don't think he gets enough credit. If you go back and look, and you actually were swayed a little bit when I brought up the argument.
When you brought up the numbers, the numbers changed the argument.
We were sitting in a
got
local
numbers.
Yeah, he does. We were sitting in a local establishment.
Yep.
And we were discussing this, and I brought it up, and I started going through the numbers, and Frank, I give you credit because even though you hate the guy, you weren't stubborn enough to go, nope, just nope.
Because
you looked at it and you said,
one of
you're
the
right.
things that I pride myself on, and I really feel like in general more people should try to do. If there is evidence of something,
Yeah. You can't deny that.
it's no longer a conspiracy against you.
Yeah.
There's fucking evidence.
Yeah.
You were wrong. They were right. The end.
Right.
And it was a comment that I made. We were discussing Osgood's history, and I remember it. I specifically brought up what he did in St. Louis and what he did in New York. Because in my head, those numbers were not anywhere near what they were in Detroit. And Joe brought up all the numbers. And were they what they were in Detroit? No. But they were pretty fucking close. He went to the playoffs. He won the playoffs with both teams. Like, talent-wise, yes, he was a good goalie. I have a hard time giving him all the credit that people give him here based on what was in front of him.
He did have stellar defenses in front of him.
He had the greatest defense that's probably ever been assembled in hockey. I'm talking 1 through 6. Like,
I think the 70s Canadians might argue with you on that, but
that would be a matchup I'd love to see.
yeah.
And then you also look at it on the offensive side of things. You had Fedorov, you had Yzerman, you had guys like that. He had fucking Datsuk years later. Like, you had some of the greatest defensive forwards.
Yeah.
Sergei Fedorov, and it's been mentioned a billion times. This is not news to anybody. Sergei Fedorov probably would have won a Norris Trophy had he just decided to be a defenseman.
He probably would have. Like I said, that's at one point he was the best overall player in the world.
Right. So you have these guys out in front of you. I have a hard time looking at it saying, yes, without a doubt, he deserves to be up there just because everything that he had in front of him. Now, when he didn't have all that in front of him, he still played his ass off. But my dislike for him also factors into it, and fuck that guy.
Fair enough. Now, if he did end up in the rafters, it wouldn't bother me either way.
I wouldn't
I'm like, all
boycott
right, cool,
it.
man. I'm like, whatever. Okay.
I wouldn't boycott it. I would say the same thing I'll say now. Is it deserved? It's questionable, but you can make a case for it.
But that's how I look at it. If it's questionable, then no, you shouldn't be in the rafters. Like if you have to question it, you shouldn't be in the rafters.
I'm with you. I think it's the only one besides Fedorov's that belongs there.
Right.
If that possibly belongs there.
The one number that I make the argument with, and it's only for what the organization has done with it. If you're going to take a number out of circulation, 16 goes up in the rafters.
I can live with that.
If it's out of circulation, it goes up. If it's not up, it's not out of circulation.
Okay.
If you want to give it back out, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying if it's out of circulation, you put it up in the rafters.
Yeah. I'd be okay with that one for special circumstances, obviously. You know
I
what
would
mean?
rather see them make the Believe patch as a banner itself, put that up there. That way you acknowledge everything.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
was he a Hall of Fame player? He was probably going to be.
He was trending in that direction.
Yeah, but
He was well on his way.
with what he did, no, he wasn't.
No. It's I like your idea of putting making the Believe patch and then doing a banner with that. I think that's actually a really good idea. I'm honestly surprised they haven't done that.
I think the best part was I just pulled that out of my ass.
That's solid.
We were just sitting here talking.
What?
I was like, make a fucking Believe banner. I don't care.
Yeah, fair enough.
Did you want to get back into one of the other questions that one of our listeners had for us?
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So this was brought to us today. It said, so what do you guys think of Gonzaga or Baylor's chances of matching the 1976 Indiana Hoosiers' undefeated season? Even though Drake is also undefeated at 17-0, I don't think they warrant being at that discussion. As you know, the 76 Hoosier team was just inducted into the College Basketball Hall of Fame.
I agree with his take on this. I think even if one of the teams go undefeated, or hell, if all three of them go undefeated, I think it's bastardized. I think it's an asterisk, and it belongs nowhere in that discussion with that Hoosiers team at all.
Yeah, I agree with you there too. Actually, my thoughts. I know your thoughts were a little bit different than mine, but mine are. I'm just looking at this season in general. So not even just the way that basketball has changed, or college basketball has changed over the years. You just look at this season. You've got teams that are getting games postponed left and right. You've got players that are having to sit out. Boston College almost had to play a game against Florida State they only had 4 scholarship players that were available to play the game. It finally got postponed. There's a lot of things going on right now. Again, fans not being in stands.
That's huge. That's one of the biggest factors for me.
It's huge. So there's so many things that factor into this right now that I think this season is going to have a huge asterisk next to it, and you can't take anything truly serious in this season. If somebody goes undefeated, or if all 3 of them do, like you said, it's going to have a huge asterisk with this season alone. Not to mention all the things that I think you're going to talk about from basketball that's changed over the years.
And that's, to me, it's just basketball in general. Like with all the schools that are like one and done, and just the quality of the game now. It's so much worse than it was then. Because I mean, when Indiana did that, I mean you had. Like all these teams had, 4-year starters and 4-year players, and it was just a better brand of basketball. Yeah. And now you guys, they got these guys who are there for 5 fucking minutes, and they can't shoot. They're terrible.
If basketball today was what it was then, I would be a basketball fan.
Yeah.
Right. Basketball today is
stand around the 3-point line and shoot.
Yeah, and I hate to say it this way because. In the big picture, is it? But basketball, we were talking about the one clip and everything that's wrong with the world. In the sports world, basketball is what's wrong with everything in the sports world, in my opinion. Everything that basketball does is a problem in my eyes.
Strong statement.
It is a strong statement.
It is, but at the same time, when you're going to cater to your players 24/7, you're creating a mutiny.
Yeah.
You're allowing for the players to run this entire thing in a league full of owners. Those still have to be the most important part of things. That's where the money comes from. If the money's not there, nothing else is there.
Right.
So, True. It's really the only opinion I had on it because I am so not a basketball fan.
I want Joe to get to the epitome of society.
Yeah.
Which we talked about this slightly a little bit earlier, but I really want to get into this now.
So speaking of basketball, we'll transition over to the NBA from that question in college basketball. And in case anybody doesn't know, apparently last night there was a Karen in the crowd.
Courtside Karen.
God, I hate Karens.
A courtside Karen at the Lakers game. And she got into an argument. Her and her husband got into an argument with LeBron James. And I have some video and audio of her responding to what happened. So here you go.
I'm minding my own business, and Chris has been a Hawks fan forever. He's been watching the games for 10 years, whatever. He has this issue with LeBron. I don't have an issue with LeBron. I don't give a fuck about LeBron. Anyway, I'm minding my own business, drinking my wine, having fun. All of a sudden, LeBron says something to my husband, and I see this, and I stand up and go, "Don't fucking talk to my husband." And he looks at me and he goes, "Sit the fuck down, bitch." And I go, "Don't fucking call me a bitch. You sit the fuck down. Get the fuck out of here." And I go, "Don't fucking talk to my husband like that. Don't talk to my husband." And he literally was like, "Fuck you, bitch."
No, he didn't say that.
Sit down, bitch. And all of a sudden, now I'm getting kicked out. Excuse me, I have courtside seats that I pay for. Fuck you, LeBron. You're a fucking pussy. Get the fuck out of here. You're going to let a 25-year-old girl intimidate you during a game? Bye, bitch.
She's only 25.
And she is, if I could wrap up what I hate about society and what I hate about the world itself and the way people are these days, she's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hate everything about that woman, and I don't know her.
Right.
Like, that video is just, it's the gist of the way our society has gone. Please shut up and crawl into a hole somewhere.
And her husband,
I cannot stand you.
Right. And her husband's been a lifelong Hawks fan, but he's been watching him for 10 years.
Okay. Lifelong, 10 years.
She's 25. Her husband's apparently 10.
I guess.
Like, y'all were making fun of me for talking about Anna Kournikova being 15. This chick's dating 10-year-olds.
Like, I just that video right there is just everything I hate about people.
Yeah.
And because what do you want to bet she's like an influencer?
Oh, yeah.
Or something on social media.
If she wasn't yesterday, she is today.
Right. And so she's just getting the attention she wanted. It's that social media and all this. I can't stand people like her, and there's so many of them these days.
The fascination with making stupid people famous is mind-boggling to me.
God,
I don't get it.
She literally looks like a dollar store version of a Kardashian.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I would beg to differ that the Kardashians are dollar store versions of the Kardashians, but yes, I understand what you're saying.
They're like the Ace Hardware toy section version.
I saw that last night. I just started laughing. I'm like, are you is this for real? Is this actually happening right now?
Oh.
And not to mention, like, dude, like, why you can't stand up for yourself? You letting your woman handle your business? Really,
Right.
dude? Really?
Well, not to mention, like she feels she has to come to the aid of her husband, who is arguing courtside with an NBA basketball player. Don't talk to my husband like that.
Okay,
shut up.
Right,
just shut up.
And you're 25. You've had more plastic surgery than anybody in Los Angeles has, from the looks of things.
It's quite a bit then.
I'm judging a book by its cover.
Right.
Here. I'm doing everything we're not supposed to do in society.
We can tell you've had plastic, like when you get plastic surgery, the whole point of it is to make it look like you haven't had plastic surgery. But yeah, we can generally tell when you do.
But I think these days people try to make it to where you can tell.
Right.
It's like they do it on purpose.
It's like, okay, so you want to look like a plastic doll?
Right.
All right, cool, man.
I look at the looks and I go, okay, it's plastic surgery all over the place.
Yeah.
I listen to what she said. We've got courtside seats. We pay for it. What are the odds that you actually pay for your own courtside seats?
I'm gonna say slim and none.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she's paying for it in certain ways, but
yeah. I mean, ways I really don't want to think about with their fucking largemouth bass lips. Fucking gross. It's disgusting.
Oh god,
largemouth
bass lips.
Gross.
That's a yeah. She was. Oh man, I
just. Yeah, basically
That
what you
frustrates
said,
me.
Joe. What you said hits the nail right on the head.
Mhm.
Everything that's wrong with society
It's
today
in that.
was embodied in
that like
video.
30-second video.
Entitlement.
Yep.
Just
Attitude.
the
fucking,
attitude,
yeah.
the fakeness of appearance and everything. Like, yeah.
But here, moving on to something even more funny, which we did hit on a little bit earlier. Honestly, one of the funniest press conferences I've ever heard, because it just in its ineptitude is hysterical. And if you thought Dan Campbell's press conference was bad, which I did, I thought it was fucking terrible.
I couldn't believe this. Like I told you
this
guys,
is- yeah.
I did not watch this press conference. So the little bit of audio clips that I heard before we went on today,
Right.
I have a hard time believing this is an actual NFL coach.
Oh yeah.
So and
I want to bite some kneecaps off for this fucking guy.
right, and I'm with you there. I
want
thought
to
Dan.
bite this guy's kneecaps off.
Somebody needs to bite this guy's jugular out so he can't talk anymore because. I thought Dan Campbell's press
Graphic.
conference. Yeah, I thought Dan Campbell's press conference. Well, we're talking about biting kneecaps, whatever. Somebody needs to make it so this guy can't talk anymore.
Yeah, this is bad.
That's true. Stopping him from walking wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, no,
Stopping him,
he'd still be able to talk.
Right.
All right.
So yeah, for everybody that thought Dan Campbell's press conference was bad, and I played a spoof of it last week, so
Which was awesome, by the way.
Everybody that listened to the show heard that one, and if you heard the regular press conference, it was bad. And there's been some other press conferences that were bad, and I'm gonna play one right now. One that came to mind for kind of all of us was Adam Gase in his press conference, and I'm gonna play that for you. And basically, it's
just for you.
It's not even the audio. It's look at this guy's face, and of course for the podcast version, you're not gonna be able to see it, but go back and look at it. This guy's eyes are bugging out like he just got done with a coke binge.
Oh, yeah.
Of like 2 days. So
At this time, I'd like to open it up for questions from the media. We have microphones that will be passed out. Once called, please state your name and your outlet. After the Q&A, we will have photo
What is he looking
opportunities
at?
and breakout.
I don't know what he's looking. His eyes
Just focus on a point.
Right.
Just focus on a point.
His eyes are bugging out of his head,
weird.
and it's like he's looking at things around the room that are not there. That was one of the most bizarre press conferences ever. And then
you have this.
And then you have this.
Next thing that's very important to me is that we build a smart football team, that we have a smart football team here. And I know we have the people in place to do that. The first part of being smart is knowing what to do. We're gonna have systems in place that are easier to learn. All right, complicated to the defense or offense that they're going against, or the special teams group that they're going against, but easy for us to learn. Because when we can when we can learn our system and we can get good at our system, then our talent can take over. Less thinking equals talent take over, but we need to have systems in place, and we will have systems
Why
in
do you
place
need smart
to
people
do
if you
so.
don't want them to think?
You can only hurt the ball club. Like, seriously.
This guy, and again, I have no idea who this dude is. What is his name?
Nick Sirianni.
Okay.
Never heard of him.
Even worse, he's Italian. It just means I get associated
You're
with
hating
them
on
now.
your own people.
I know. I hate on them when I have to end up getting associated with them, and now I'm going to be associated with this dipshit.
I mean, he's already associated with the Jersey Shore idiots. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's bad enough as it is.
I don't associate with those people.
I didn't say
Go on
you
now. Yeah.
did.
Like that's when people ask, and I'm like, no, I'm Scottish. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I can't. That was the worst.
That was bad.
Opening press conference, introductory press conference I've ever seen.
He mentioned being smart 3 times.
Yeah. And yet, none of that
And
sounded smart.
then at the end of it,
None of it.
described a situation which the biggest fucking idiot in the league could probably figure out how to succeed.
Yeah, yeah. Like we talked about before the show. When I heard that, it was like, to me, it sounded like if you've ever seen Coming to America, when Cleo McDowell's in his office and he's reading the McDonald's management training manual. That's what that sounded like to me. But he's actually reading it out loud. Like, he's reading from like a coaching manual and doing a really terrible job at it.
How is he going to do in a room full of like 70 people?
And not to mention, in Philadelphia, that dude's going to get crushed.
Well, and
this guy's speaking in an empty room.
I know, but
that's the bad part. So the media wasn't even there. He was in an empty room looking at a camera.
Yeah.
And he still got flustered and couldn't talk. He stuttered over the fact that he was going to put in.
He's smart.
He was going to put in systems. Like, the whole thing was about systems, which he couldn't even say right.
Nope. Systems.
Systems. We're gonna have systems in place. Like, I don't even know what's about at this point.
But like,
systems. That's it.
Once
Somewhere Carson Wentz is begging for Doug Peterson to go
Oh
back.
my God! Jalen Hurts is asking for a trade.
Yeah,
at
can I
this
get out
point.
of here? But like, wait till that Philadelphia media actually is able to be in the same room as that dude.
Good Lord.
He'll be fired before that.
That's gonna be ugly. That's gonna be real ugly.
I'm going to say this now. He will be fired before media is allowed in.
That's like blood in the water for
Oh
sharks.
yeah, they're waiting for it. 100%.
If
That
his-
media will eat him alive.
If his coaching ability is anything close to as bad as his public speaking, there's zero chance he lasts.
I mean, if
through
you're
the end of
a
COVID.
player and you hear that, are you're seriously like, I don't want to play for this fucking idiot.
At that point in time, I'm asking. I'm Deshaun Watson.
Get me out of here.
I'm Deshaun Watson. I'm like, yeah, trade me,
Which-
trade me, cut me.
Can I get your guys' opinions on this? And I know you guys don't mind when I jump in with a question.
Not at all.
Deshaun, what the fuck are they going to do there? Because now I'm hearing the Texans don't want to trade him.
He's going to sit out the season.
Do you think he does sit out?
If he doesn't get traded, yes, I do. He's said as much. He goes, he's
Okay.
prepared to sit out the season.
See, and I'm a little torn on this one as far as how I feel about it. I don't blame the guy because they're a back alley abortion of a team. But
And we live in a world where the athletes have all the control.
Yes. But also, you just signed your extension, your
Mm-hmm.
big contract last year. It wasn't even a year, and you were now asking for a trade.
But from what I hear, it was under false pretenses.
How so?
He was promised certain things about how the team would be built, and it clearly has not been
Yeah,
built.
then
that
they
way.
turned around and got Laramie Tunsil
that-
and got rid of every first round pick that
Right.
the guy
Then
could
you
hope
turn
for.
around and trade arguably the best receiver in the league.
They did that before. They did that before he signed the contract.
I understand, but when you do something like that,
Yeah.
it's kind of okay. You know what the fuck's going on here? You know. So from everything I understand, is he signed it under false pretenses of what the organization was going to do.
Right. Well, and part of it was the wide receiver being traded, DeAndre Hopkins. But again, if you look back at it, he signed that contract after Hopkins was traded. So
No.
at that point in time, you're like, all right, man, you can't hold that against them. They already did that, and then you signed the contract. So I didn't really hear about any of the other false pretenses. But
You only have the problem now that you know David Johnson is what David Johnson's been for the last
Right.
4 years.
But in the NFL, I don't have an issue with it, just because how the NFL works. Because there is no guarantees. Get your fucking money. 100%. Get your fucking money.
yeah, but he got his money. And
I know
now,
that.
and now he wants out. Well,
Which he got his money under the certain pretenses that they were going to build a winner, which they clearly have not done.
yes, and you can't. But you can't always guarantee that. You can't always guarantee.
But when
the
you
team,
try to
that's-
build a winner, they're not even trying to build a winner.
well, maybe in their minds they are.
I mean, looks of things, they're
to
not
the
trying to build anything.
Well, in the Lions' minds, they were trying to build a winner. They haven't done that. So I mean, you know, it's all about how you look at it. And at a certain point, you sign the contract. You know, yeah, you can ask out, but also it's not even that long since you signed the contract, bro. So if you really wanted out, you shouldn't have signed that contract. You should have looked elsewhere in the first place. So That's just the way I feel about it. I don't blame him in this circumstance as far as, yes, that team is a back alley abortion. It's brutal, and it's not going to get better anytime soon.
Nope.
So I don't blame him for wanting out. I just question the timing of it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, but do you want him if he wants out now, why do you want him to wait another year and waste another year of his career to want out?
I don't want him to wait another year. I just question the fact that the timing of the fact that he just signed the contract not even a year ago, and they had already traded your top wide receiver away. It's like, all right, well, you kind of saw the writing on the wall, bro. Like, why did you then sign up for a long-term deal, and then now, not even a year later, you're going, well, no, wait. I didn't sign up for this. You kind of saw the writing on the wall, dude.
Maybe.
That's just the way I feel about it.
I was going to say, they've done exactly what they told them they were going to do. They've just added pieces that aren't great.
Well, now they're
overpaid the fuck out of them.
Well, now they're actually talking about just letting J.J. Watt go.
Yeah.
Just letting him walk.
Because he wants out too.
Yeah, well, I mean,
he's
one I don't blame at this point.
That was the only end of that situation I saw, though. Because he can be cut, no salary cap issues
and
whatsoever.
I'm okay with that because the rumor is Cleveland's looking to go after him, so I'll take that.
I heard you'd have a nice home in Buffalo. I'd be all right with it.
I would be perfectly fine with him starting on the opposite side of Myles Garrett.
Good.
I see no situation which, if his brother wants him in Pittsburgh, he is anywhere other than Pittsburgh.
Fair. I mean, he might end up.
I wish I could argue against that because Pittsburgh's in the same division as Cleveland. But
I could see him. I could see him in Green Bay. It's another place I could see him. Just because he's Wisconsin kid. I could see him in Green Bay.
Yeah,
that would work.
Yeah.
But with them, I mean, they've got their own situations at hand.
Yes, they do.
What they're going to do with Rodgers and why Rodgers has got to drive in the back of trucks now.
That was awesome. I saw that. Was great, man.
Can't even find this man a
Hey,
car
wait a minute.
to
That's
fucking practice.
Is that Aaron Rodgers? I think it is Aaron Rodgers. Hey, Ron, drinking some Bud Light in the back of
a pickup truck.
All right, cool, man.
So to go back just a little bit, talking about this chick that got into an argument with LeBron, I wanted to ask you guys, because we talked about this a little bit before, I think you were out of the room before the show started. Have you ever had an altercation at a game with a player? Have you ever yelled at a player? Have you ever had that interaction? Have you ever had a chance to?
Not at a game. I did at a job once with Chris Chelios.
Really?
Yes.
That is probably the last person I want to get into an
Honestly,
argument with.
It was actually pretty funny. It was when I was working at an ice rink when I was, probably like 16, give or take. And at the ice rink I was working at, there was 2 sets of doors. One we had just painted, and we literally had tape, don't come through this, and signs, don't come through this door.
That doesn't apply to Chris.
So obviously the other side was wide open, but sure enough, he walks through the door that had the signs on it and shit like that, and I saw him walk through, and I go, look at this asshole, not realizing who it was at first.
Right.
And you're 16 at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he comes up, and I was working a concession at the time, and he goes, yeah, can this asshole get a cup of coffee? And I go, so you heard that? Eh? He goes, yeah. And I go, well, I mean, you see the sign? He goes, yeah. He's like, I'm an idiot, whatever. So we bullshitted for a few minutes, and that was pretty cool. So yeah, that's one of the only ones I've had with like an athlete that kind of could have been taken confrontational.
So
or whatever.
At what point did you shit your pants in that conversation?
At no point, because I thought it was pretty fucking funny. I was like, dude, you're an asshole. Like literally, there's signs on the fucking door saying don't go through this door.
Chelios is going to go in the locker room the next day and be like, some fucking concession called me an asshole.
So
that's great.
I thought it was pretty funny. So
that's great. Yeah, I think I've had good interactions with some hockey players.
Yeah, the majority of the
at the ice
interactions I've had with athletes and stuff like that have been.
There was only one. I was telling Frank about it before the show. There was only one where it was actually very similar to this. I was at a Pistons game. It was about 3 rows behind the visitors' bench.
Yeah.
And I was giving Alonzo Mourning just nonstop shit. I was yelling nonstop to this guy. And all of a sudden, at one point, he turns around and flips me off and says, "Fuck you." That was it.
That's awesome.
And I was just like, all right. I mean, touche. Congrats on that one.
Fair enough.
I'm going to keep talking shit, but still.
Frank is going to go his odds. We got to hear your Osgood story, man.
My Osgood story?
Yes.
Well, the one that I have that mildly goes along the lines of what you guys are talking about. It's not me personally. My brother actually, and I still don't know that he's entirely sure of the person that he got into the fight with this day, but playing beer leagues, we were playing out at one of the newer ice arenas, and one of the Hatcher brothers had an issue with something my brother had done.
I'm fairly certain I know which Hatcher brother it is.
I'm going to go with Kevin.
Yeah.
Wasn't the one who used to be a Red Wing.
Yeah.
And my brother's probably about 5'10", maybe 5'11" on a good day.
Yeah.
And he probably at this point like 230, 240. Picks him up, no problem. Fucking slams him right down on the ice. Beats the piss out of my brother.
Nice.
Wow.
So that's why I said, like, in that situation, did I ever get into an argument with somebody? No, but I mean, I was around for one where the guy could actually do something about it.
and if you don't want to share it, you don't have to. But there's a reason why you don't like Chris Osgood.
There is a real reason why I don't like Chris Osgood. And if you guys want to go there, we can go there.
Go there, baby.
It is not like it's a story that I don't like telling.
I want to go there.
Okay.
Do it.
Growing up in Hockey Town, I was
Hockey Town.
I had a coach and sponsors of many of my teams growing up that owned a car dealership that worked with the Red Wings a lot. And we were fortunate in the fact that not only did I play hockey with this guy's kids, my uncle also worked for him. So it was a pretty big connection that we had. So they would do a lot of charity events where they would have Red Wings come in and sign autographs. And then at the end of the season, they would go and present a check to the Red Wings, or with the Red Wings, to whatever organization they were doing stuff for. Well, as a kid, I was fortunate enough to be able to go down to the locker room quite a few times and be there for this presentation.
Yep.
So the one time that I do enjoy telling people about, I got to play soccer with the entire 97 Stanley Cup Red Wing team. I mean, Sergei Fedorov was our goalie. This is when Konstantinov was still playing. Yzerman threw the ball. He had literally just come out of the shower, so Steve Yzerman's there, nothing but a towel, throwing fucking soccer ball around the locker room with a bunch of kids. Like, it's a surreal moment.
Okay.
He had the towel on, so it was okay. I just see that look, and that's the part of the story I always share, so I knew that was coming.
All right, then.
It was one of those views of a team that you don't normally get on television or something.
Right.
You've got to be there when the media is not allowed in. So I have an old sweater jersey that I'm going around. I'm getting autographed by everybody. And I go to walk out of the locker room. And the only one at that point I'm leaving, well, the only three I'm leaving without is Brendan Shanahan, who would not leave the shower, is Mike Vernon, who was very, very polite and straight up said, hey, had a rough day, man. I'm just not looking to sign autographs right now. Like, if you guys meet up with me another point, just let me know and I'll definitely sign it. Cool. No problem. You were really cool about it. And then I walk out into the hallway area of Joe Louis Arena. And there is a young man surrounded by probably 2, 3, maybe 4 females. And I realize it's Chris Osgood. And I need Osgood's autograph on the sweater. And essentially, Chris Osgood told a kid, get the fuck out of here. I don't have time for you. Well, trying to wheel all 3 of these girls.
Yeah.
Now, in my head, even at 10 years old, I'm thinking, like, first of all, this is prime fucking opportunity to look like a good guy.
Yeah, right.
Like, these girls probably want to see that you're not a complete douchebag. Anyways, long story short, like, he was just a fucking asshole about everything. And people had told me the stories about, like, Cicerelli, who was an asshole, and Marty Lapointe could be an asshole, and guys like that. I've met Dino more times than I can count.
Yeah.
The man has been nothing but respectful.
I've met him a few times as well. Yeah, he's been nothing but nice to me.
And there's stories out there. I know firsthand stories where the guy's not been cool.
Right.
I'm just saying my experience with him, nothing but cool. Marty Lapointe, same thing. Nothing but a kind human. The only NHL athlete that I've ever met that I had an issue with was Chris Osgood. And he was a fucking asshole. So you want the real reason why his number 30 doesn't go up in the rafters for me?
There it is.
It's kind of he's a cocksucker, but at the same time, you know, the numbers are there. So,
but he's a cocksucker.
But he's a cocksucker. So fuck that guy.
I love it.
And it's probably changed by now. I'm sure, you know, he's got kids and shit, and he's probably not the same
He's
douchebag he was in 97.
He's probably still a piece of shit.
To be honest, I haven't even watched him long enough on TV to be like, no,
He's,
that's the same fucking asshole.
He seems douchey.
If he comes on my TV, I turn it off.
Yeah.
I just have no interest in seeing the man, being around him. Like, he could be giving out free jerseys, and I'd just be like, I'm good.
Nope, I'm good.
At least they have an Osgood jersey. Mm-hmm. Not anymore.
That's a good reason you used to.
So I hear. Oh, you do your read. Sorry,
I was going to say, do we want to attempt this atrocity
No,
again?
sorry. Do your read. I apologize. My bad.
I mean, if you got something on topic, we can go with
No,
it.
have at it. Do your read.
Okay. Are you tired of going from dealership to dealership looking for an automobile or boat? Get in touch with Landon C. Motorsports. They specialize in finding you the car, truck, or boat that you're in the market for. Listen, I wasn't going to try to do some great run into the... I'm trying to just get the words on this paper and every number this time.
Yes, because anybody who called that number last week got dial tone.
I shorted you a number last week.
Sorry, try your call again.
At Landon C. Motorsports, tell them the type of vehicle and features that you want, and that will fit your budget. They also offer shrink wrapping and winterization for boats, jet skis. If your boat or vehicle need any repairs or cleaning, they offer a full detail division as well. So give them a call. Here's the real phone number. It's 586-484-9798. It's 586-484-9798. Or visit their website at landandseamotorsports.com. That's landandseamotorsports.com.
Very good. Nicely done.
It was at least in English this time.
Now I hear there's a big football game on Sunday.
The big game.
The big game. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard anyway.
Yeah, there's a big football game happening this weekend.
Like honestly, has there been a less hyped up Super Bowl than this one? Like usually, I really haven't heard anything about the Super Bowl.
You're right. It is weirdly silent.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah,
and this is like the wet dream of Super Bowls for the NFL.
Yeah.
This is big goat versus baby goat.
Yeah,
as people keep calling it.
Yeah, right. That's the first time I've heard that terminology. But all right.
Have you seen like memes of big goat and little goat? No,
I've seen those. I've also heard this is the goat versus the kid. I've heard that one.
See, that I'd be cool with.
Yeah,
because in my opinion, we've discussed this before. Brady is the GOAT, and
I agree.
Thank you, Allison. Yes, I did it. She just gave me a compliment on the beautiful ad read I did.
Nice.
It's on the Twitch page. Nice. If you're looking for it, Joe.
Yeah, I was looking for it, but all right. There we go.
With Mahomes is most definitely, in my opinion, the most talented quarterback playing right now. So to say it's the GOAT versus the kid, like I wouldn't have a problem with them calling it that. But again, you get into the whole two GOATs argument.
It's the GOAT versus the kid who could possibly become the GOAT. He's started off gangbusters. So if his career keeps going in this direction, who knows? But I mean, it's you're right. It's the NFL's wet dream of a Super Bowl.
It is, and it's
really,
and obviously COVID has a lot to do with it. That it's not being covered like it normally is covered.
Right.
So I get that, but it's just even with that,
we do have some friends that are covering it.
We do, and that's shout out to the Fully Loaded podcast. They're down there doing their thing, and congrats to them. That's pretty awesome for them. That's cool.
Yeah.
I hope they do their thing down there. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem to have the usual hype that it normally does.
You're right. It doesn't. It's like I said. It's eerily silent.
It really is. Like, it's almost like you're waiting to see who's gonna have COVID and have to sit out the game.
What COVID breakout's gonna happen?
Right. Exactly.
And
the Chiefs already got 2 from what I saw.
Was that right?
And that was due to the hairstylist. Somebody said.
Yeah, I believe it was the person that came in to cut everybody's hair.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I'm guessing Tom hooked him up with with his hairstylist.
You've got a wide receiver. I don't remember which wide receiver it was.
Robinson.
There we go. And they're starting center, and they're ready down Eric Fisher with the torn ACLs.
I have a feeling their starting center will be playing.
They can't really afford to lose any more linemen.
No, they can't. But I don't know. I'm looking at this game, and I think it'll be. I don't think it'll be like the game earlier this season when they met up. I don't think it's going to be a blowout like that. I really don't. However, I'm just going to make my pick now. I'm taking. we're not doing the pick?
Are we doing the picks?
We can do the picks.
I was going to say we could do the picks like this.
Yeah. I mean, we don't do the music. Cue the music.
If you've had plumbing problems,
Oh, shit.
you're
Oh, that's
definitely not alone. The next time you
Sorry.
have an issue, there's only one place to call. Go to Pro Plumbing. They're a local family-owned company with 15 years of experience. Based in Centerline, they serve the Metro Detroit area, keeping your pipes clean and flowing with fair prices and happy customers. They're open 7 days a week for all your plumbing needs. The knowledgeable and experienced staff will keep you informed of their progress every step of the way to make your experience as smooth as possible. Call Go To Pro Plumbing today at 586-250-2881. That's 586-250-2881. Go To Pro Plumbing. When your pipes won't flow, call the pro.
It's time!
Super Bowl 55 edition of the picks.
Super Bowl LV.
Yeah.
Yes, Super Bowl LV.
Which, by the way, real quick, how the hell do you not put this Super Bowl in Las Vegas when it's literally Super Bowl LV?
That is a good question, honestly.
I really thought that was like the easiest marketing thing in the world.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. It's kind of funny though. You look at the Super Bowl logo; it looks like LIV because they have the Lombardi Trophy between the L and the V. It's like, did nobody like realize this?
What's the last one?
Did nobody like realize this?
Yeah, the last one was LIV.
All right. I was like, okay.
And they actually had the trophy in between that one too, so it looked like LIIV.
Right, exactly. It looks they need to see. This is what I don't like. They have like
This is where those smart people that the coach was talking about come into play.
With the systems.
We need a creative person to come up with a better Super Bowl logo.
We need a system for Super Bowl logos.
Yeah, so the smart people can do things that
It's
don't
like
end up like this.
like all the Super Bowls up until about 10 years ago, they all had like different logos.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now they're all like uniform. It's all like
Yeah.
It's go back to people creating logos. These are fucking stupid. They look dumb. Anyways,
Fucking idiots.
Yeah, fucking idiots. Like we stated before the ad read, I think this is going to be a fantastic Super Bowl. I really do. It's going to be weird watching it without. I know there's going to be a certain amount of fans there, but it's just not going to have the same type of atmosphere that the Super Bowl normally has.
All right.
Like kind of like watching the national championship game. It's just weird. You know, usually that's like, and me and you, we've been to a national championship game, and it's just to see that type of game without a normal crowd was strange.
It's weird. It's been a weird year in sports to just watch sports.
Yeah.
It's been almost surreal.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's the perfect word to describe it. I think it has been surreal.
Yeah.
If the game's been good enough, I haven't noticed the fans
Mhm.
not being there. But when some of these games are as difficult to watch as some of them have
Right.
been,
Yeah.
then it's like, you're almost looking like the players do, but as fans, you're looking to draw from that energy to kind of keep watching the game.
100%. However, looking at the actual game itself, and I know the Chiefs are down one of their starting offensive linemen, which that's going to hurt. And Brady looking like the Brady of old, which earlier in the year I thought he had lost it. I thought he was done, but he's proven me wrong. That's fair. And I don't think this game is going to go like their meeting earlier in the season where the Chiefs blew them out in like the first quarter. However, I think it's going to be a close game. I really do. But I'm going to take the Chiefs. And if for no other reason, then you know who the Chiefs defensive coordinator is? Steve Spagnuolo. You know who's the Giants defensive coordinator both times? Steve Spagnuolo. He knows how to get to Tom Brady.
Okay.
He knows how to irritate Tom Brady, and he knows how to fuck Tom Brady up. So if for no other reason than that guy being the defensive coordinator, I'm taking the Chiefs.
I mean, they got Chris Jones on that defense, the defensive tackle, who's definitely a hell of a player, but that New York front four was a different animal.
Don't get me wrong. That I agree with you 100%. But you look at how that defense played against Buffalo, and that defense looked like all world against Buffalo.
They did.
They look like one of the best defenses in the NFL against Buffalo. Steve Spagnuolo, when he has 2 weeks to prepare for something, he knows what he's doing. He can put together a game plan.
And on the flip side of things, you give Andy Reid 2 weeks to prepare.
Right.
All that being said, I don't think this is going to surprise anybody. Tom Brady's in the Super Bowl. I'm taking Tom Brady.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, and I've actually looked at the Spagnuolo part of it, and obviously he beat Tom Brady twice, but there was some other things to those games that the reason why New York won. You know, unless
David Tyree finally caught a football for
Yeah.
the first time in his life.
Yeah, and on his helmet. Unless David Tyree is going to sign for Kansas City,
and catch a second ball for the second time in his entire life.
I've got to take Tom Brady in this. To me, it just seems like destiny at this point. Like it's just meant to be. He's gonna win another one, man. And I don't think there's ever been a player in any sport who is gonna leave that sport with the aura around him other than Jordan. Like, this guy leaves this sport, he's now gone to 10 Super Bowls. That's more Super Bowls than most teams have been to over their entire existence.
Right.
And if he wins this, it's 7 out of the 10. So
He called his shot.
Yeah, the man is just otherworldly, and things just line up for this guy. It's like they just line up for him. So I've got to go with Tom Brady, man. I have to.
I will say this though: if he plays anything in this game like he played the second half against the Chiefs, they're going to get run out of the building.
Yes,
because the Chiefs are going to capitalize on those mistakes
for sure.
Right, I agree.
And that defense,
you're
Tampa
wrong.
Bay's defense,
It's good.
great defense. But they have to play like they did the first 6 weeks of the
Right.
season, and not so much like they did every week before last week.
I don't know if they have the speed to keep up with those receivers, though, man.
I don't think anybody has the speed to keep up with
And
those
not to mention,
receivers.
arguably the best tight end in football, in Travis Kelce.
Oh, he's the best receiving tight end in football.
Fair enough.
But I look at the flip side of things and go, okay, 1 through 3, show me a deeper receiving core than what Tampa Bay is running out there. Godwin, Evans, and Brown.
This could be one of the
Is
biggest.
Brown even going to play?
Right now, it's looking like he's going to, but last week it was looking like, or sorry, not last week, but for the NFC Championship, it was looking like he was going to, and then they rolled him out Tuesday night.
It's I think this could be one of the biggest shootouts we've seen. Or
It'll be a defensive struggle.
We could be completely wrong, and it'll be a defensive game like you haven't seen before. My money would be on a shootout, and it would be Mahomes versus Brady shootout,
Which is what the NFL wants.
It's
That's exactly
absolutely
what they want. It's
Yeah.
the most marketable game.
Yes. So
I don't know. Yeah, that's
those are the picks.
That is the pick, the last pick of the year.
Yeah, well,
For the
there's
football
three.
season.
There's 3 of us, so they're the picks plural. That's why I said that. But yeah, it's so next week. What are we gonna do? We're gonna do. We talked about it.
Oh yeah,
Instead
we're
of-
gonna
instead of
do
doing picks.
We're going to pop champagne when Tom Brady wins another Super Bowl.
Well, that's. I'm down with that.
No, well, next week we're gonna do since betting is now legal here in Michigan, which I think is pretty cool, and I've placed a couple of bets, not successfully, but I've placed a couple of bets. We're gonna try something a little different here. Is we're each gonna take 3 games each that we're gonna.
Yeah,
do?
we're each going to pick three bets,
Yeah,
and,
three
and they don't
bets.
necessarily have to be winner of the game. They could be this person to score this amount of points, or whatever bet you want to take. So we're all 3 going to take 3 bets for the next week that we're going to give out. And this idea was actually brought to me by my brother-in-law, who said he would love to see that portion take over the picks, because doing picks throughout the week is a little difficult. You know, there's hockey games, there's basketball games. It's hard to just pick a game randomly throughout the week and go.
Well, and
But
you're
picking
noticing with
bets
hockey, like hockey's dropping games left and right now.
Yeah.
Like
And-
you've
and
got
you-
3 teams that are completely on quarantine until double digits in February.
Yeah, and if we did picks for the entire week for basketball and hockey, the whole show would just be picks.
Yeah, right.
So this is an idea that was brought to me, and I thought it was a good idea. I think it'd
I
be
think
a
it's
fun
a
thing
great
for us
idea.
to put out there for people.
100%. I
So-
think it's a great idea.
And I think it's something that we all kind of have a general knowledge of.
Yeah.
Like some of us are better than others at the whole betting show. A show. But at the same time, like we all kind of have an idea of what these bets would look like, what a smart bet is, what
Yeah.
a dumb bet would be. Like, yeah, I'm all for
I think
it.
we maybe do like one like what we think is a lock bet.
Yeah.
One we think is all right. You know, I could see that. One just take one just weird ass.
Just long shot.
Long shot. Fuck it.
I will
You know?
preface anything that I say in the coming weeks that no bet that I tell you is ever going to be considered a lock. You don't want to take anything I say as a lock.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I do have one more video here as a throwback to last week. So we talked about those cameo videos.
The Chinooka.
Yep. We talked about those cameo videos, and we talked about Smokey Robinson. And so I'm just going to, if you remember last week's show, I'm going to play it for you so you can hear it.
Hey, Marco. How you doing? Surprise, surprise. This is Smokey Robinson. I know you didn't expect to hear from me. But I was contacted by your sons, Jeff and Jer. And they told me that you used to live in Detroit across the street from me. And gosh, that's beautiful. How you doing again?
How you doing again?
Nice talking to you again, I guess. But anyway, you're living in Vancouver now. And they wanted me to wish you happy Chinooka. I have no idea what Chinooka is, but happy Chinooka because they said so. Anyway, God bless you, babe. And enjoy Chinooka. Have a wonderful time.
Oh, my God. Happy Chinooka, everybody.
Happy Chinooka. I have no idea what Chinooka is.
Okay. Oh, shit, that's funny. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Yep.
Happy Chinooka.
Happy Chinooka.
That's great.
All right. Do you guys have anything else you want to?
Oh, yeah. One more thing.
Want to get going on? Yeah.
One more thing.
Yep.
Found out today that EA is bringing back college football.
Yes, we did want to talk about that.
Yes,
You're right.
we did. Which I saw that around lunchtime today, and I was instantly happy. I was like, it's about fucking time.
Yes. I am so looking forward to that.
And I read more into it. It's actually going to be like a legit version. They got licensing and all that stuff.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So we can have like the real players in there and
that's the only
everything?
thing. It's basically going to be like it was before.
Okay. QB number 8.
Right,
running
exactly.
back number
But they
32.
have all the stadiums, the logos, all that shit.
Okay. Nice.
So it's going to be a legit college football game,
Okay.
which I can't wait. I don't have there was no release date or anything like that for it, but my guess would be about a year, somewhere in that range.
I'm very much looking forward.
Oh,
to
hell
that.
yeah! But it's only for the next gen systems, so you have to get either a PS5 or Xbox X.
Oh, well, son of a bitch.
If you can find either one.
If you can find either one, yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, at least they're giving me a year.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. They may have started working on it already. I don't know. But
Yeah, well,
I would assume if they've announced it that they have something.
yeah,
coming.
and honestly, it wouldn't be that difficult if you think about it, because they could probably just take some of it from Madden and just kind of
Take the whole-
implement it into college football.
yeah, take the Madden
Yeah.
engine and just translate it over. They could
Right.
do that.
But I mean, getting all the stadiums and all that shit rendered and all that, I'm sure it's going to take some time. So, but I'm just happy it's back. It's been going on 7 years now since they had since the 14
Denard.
since Denard was on the cover. So I'm so excited for that to be back. It is
Yeah, they put a Michigan guy on the cover and then just ended it.
You're right, right, right. But it's I'm just happy. So that's one thing I wanted to get out of the way, because it's needed. It's been needed for so long. I'm finally glad they finally got to the point where they're like, all right, dude, we need to do this.
Yeah.
This needs to come out. So
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy as hell.
I'm happy about that.
I'm happy about that.
Yes.
Frank?
You're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
And I'm done.
All right.
I got nothing for you guys.
All right, that's going to do it for tonight's episode then. Give us a like, a share, and a follow on our social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. You can find all of our podcasts on your favorite podcast provider. As always, check out our website, sotdet.com. While you're there, take a look at our show pics and our blogs. We will be adding to those blogs pretty soon. Stay tuned for that news. Again, that's sotdet.com. Thank you to everyone for listening and or watching. On behalf of Chris and Frank, I'm Joe. We are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you next Tuesday.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye. Have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No. Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
Hey.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
You were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.